Get the When You Wanted shirt because the guy doesn't play with me anymore.
Damn,
bro, that's the first thing they hear. That shit is crazy, bro.
that's crazy.
I need a shot on it.
Bro, Pinzo, I will send you a shirt, homie. What is up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of the PREDCAST. We get together, we talk a lot about Predecessor. We might compare to other MOBAs here and there, but it's basically covering Predecessor news, changes, updates, etc. Now, we do have a lot to talk about in this week's episode. Oh my God, what number episode are we in? Damn, bro, 49? Okay, yeah, bet. So episode 49, bro, almost to an even 50. But we're gonna talk a lot. We're gonna talk about console being announced, you know, a couple little details on that side. We're gonna hit the previous patch since we haven't really had a chance to go over that, and simultaneously we'll go over a little bit about the new patch. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and do our introductions. If we could go in this specific order, let's go Pinzo, F6, Bearded, then myself. Introduce yourself, tell people what you're all about.
What up, guys? I'm Pinzo. I'm a streamer / YouTube content creator for Pred. Well, I don't work for them, but I make Pred content. You guys can catch me live on Twitch, 2 p.m. Eastern. I upload YouTube videos daily as well. I try to get shorts out if you guys are into that as well. But other than that, I like to show up to PREDCAST on Wednesdays sometimes when we have it.
When we have it.
For a little while.
Hey, man. Which we'll definitely inform everybody on that a little bit. But let's go through the intros here. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
that's it for me. Go F6.
It's your boy. Oh yeah, I figured. But
I just double check it.
I'm F6. All good, baby. Yeah, F6 stream over on Twitch. Not really kick as much recently, but probably gonna start that up. Make some YouTube videos, starting a in the Mind of an Offlaner series, so you guys can learn how to play the offlane. So yeah, first video dropped today. Look that up. But other than that, yeah, we're just here on PREDCAST, do some PCC casting, and yeah, we're everywhere, I guess.
I'll give you some pointers in the offlane to help you out. To make
okay, thank you. I appreciate that, Bearded. Let me know.
What's going on, everybody? Is I, the Bearded Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, and I am excited to be back. I know we've been away for a while, but there's a reason for it, and like Windu said, we'll get into that. But we got a decent, spicy episode for you because we got some great news that came out, and I can't wait to get into it. So, again, you guys know you can find me on Twitch and Kick now because they lifted that exclusivity ban. Twitch did, so we are able to stream on both. So thank you for being here on Twitch, and thank you for being here on Kick, or vice versa, wherever you're at on my screen. So appreciate you guys, and let's get you here, Windu.
Spicy, and what's up, guys? Again, I'm Windu, also known as Windy the Mace. I pretty much just make Predecessor content nowadays. I know I still got like a Star Wars YouTube channel floating around in the nether realm, right? But pretty much all Predecessor here lately. Now, in its own, guys, I did want to start off by just letting everybody know traditional streams are on Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Now we do stream on Bearded Wolverine's Twitch and Kick channel. The reason why we kind of took a little bit of a hiatus there is we want to make sure that we always give you guys good content. We don't necessarily just want to keep on going over the same thing every other week. But moments like right now, where we have a lot of stuff to talk about, that's stuff that we can easily do multiple episodes on such. So if you guys want to keep up to date as far as to if we ever reschedule or if we ever change the start time, depending on if we get a developer on or not, follow all of us on Kick. Listen to me. Follow all of us on Twitter, or X, I guess, and you'll be able to stay up to date as far as changes there. Now, can we just go straight into this trailer, bro? Can we just start with that? Off rip?
Of course. First thing to say about it is Stags and the team, you guys did a fucking fantastic job. Keep up the great work. You got everything. Since Stags has been hired on, every video that's came out has just gotten exponentially better. Like, we went from our hero release trailers we got, which were good. You know, they weren't bad hero release trailers, but these ones, since he's been on, these hero release trailers have been on point. And then you got this trailer, fucking amazing. And I'm gonna say right now, my favorite part, and I was talking to Ace when he was streaming, my favorite part is when they go through the heroes and they're fading away. It gives you that Marvel Cinematic Universe feel. Like, I love it, dude.
Bro,
they start fading back. And it's like, oh, dude, fucking amazing. Love it.
I 1000% peep that shit.
They killed my boy Zarus at the end. A little bit of that, but it's okay though. It's okay.
Bro, hey, they made Zarus and Kira look good. Of course, they did that shit on purpose. But Zaris and Kira were actually kind of shining in there, bro.
It's smart to have them kind of foremost on the trailer, right? Because people are like, oh, like I've seen Paragon. Like I didn't know Paragon was coming back, and then you're like, who the fuck is that? Who is that? Is that a lizard, bro? I don't think that was a Paragon guy. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'll tell you what. On the side of Stegs and everything, the level of, I don't even know what's a proper word here. Just the like the shift into the cinematic world of these trailers. You can definitely feel it. You know, like it's not just like, hey, simple trailer, simple announcement, cut to gameplay, cut to like little voiceover, etc. Like it definitely feels like a little bit higher level on the production side. So major kudos.
It's
like back and forth
gameplay footage, and part of it is like animated cinematic, which I think is really neat. I think it's the first time we've had that since maybe Kira's trailer. I don't know if Zaris had.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually,
had some cinematic to it, but I don't know about Zaris's.
No, I don't think his had any cinematic. Actually, all I remember is that little backing animation we thought was an emote.
More obvious, but yeah, no, there's some points in this where it's not just gameplay, and I think that's really, it makes it feel like a step up. Makes it feel one step cooler to have the actual animation in there.
The one thing I love about the cinematics is it brings the characters to life. And I know a lot of people hate on this, and that's fine. They can hate on all they want. But when Fault was a part of the movie One Up, there was parts in the movie where they brought the characters to life. When they brought Countess and Murdock, when they were chasing each other down the lane, you could see those characters, like it was like you thought you were watching like a cartoon or an animated movie or something, because the way they were acting with each other, they brought them to life. So I love the fact that they were able to do that with this trailer here as well.
Makes you want to play those heroes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do like how they did do the gameplay though. It wasn't like anything long or drawn out. It was like just really like highlighted just the characters and what they can do. So yeah, I think that was a good part of it as well.
A lot of ultimates, cool abilities getting used, that kind of thing.
That's true, because I mean, you talking about the Zaris time, but that Morigesh clip right there at the end looks spicy, bro.
It does.
Yeah, that shit looks clean.
It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart.
I saw a lot of people again. So a lot of the people who've been playing this game and know a lot about this game, they're gonna give the meta team a hard time for some of the things they've done. And I love RGS's Ace's reply to a lot of it. Like people were in his chat, hey, what's up with Murdock sniping the minion? He's like, well, we wanted to give you that true silver play gameplay experience, like we want something.
Damn.
All right. So and you have that, it's like you have the random like Greystone alt, like I don't know, like you're just running down by Gold Buff and you're just alting for no reason, like okay, let me alt and come back down. It's like but you have the people who know the game. It does look cool. You have the people that know the game that just know that this is just like what is this, but then you have people who don't know the game. It's like, dude, that guy just shot a laser out his fucking gun. What was that? Those are the people that we're gonna catch with this.
Yeah, I will say, total nitpick, because I love the trailer. You damn sure cannot dash out of a Richter hook. That's some bullshit. That's some bull. I saw that. I was like, man, that's false advertisement. Get me out of here, bro. Okay. But no, I liked it.
In that cinematic, you didn't see him use the cleanse and then use the dash to turn.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Touche. Touche. Now, officially, so speaking of the trailer, that was basically Omega Studios' predecessor announcing that on December 5th, they're going to be having a PlayStation console beta test all the way till January the 5th. Now, we've all been waiting for this like crazy. Now granted, I say we, interestingly enough, we're all on PC, right?
to the four PC players.
Yeah, like we're all PC, but at the same time, we have been waiting for it because our communities have been waiting for it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And bro, I didn't know that they were gonna drop any dates. Like from a company that never gives me a solid date, like way in advance. I was like, bro, they said from the 5th to the 5th. I was like, that's a good fucking chunk of time frame, bro. That's spicy.
I literally asked Ace because of that. I literally asked Ace in his stream, hey, are these solid dates or is this something that could potentially change? Because we've had this issue before. I wanted to make sure. He's like, this is solid. This is a concrete date. I'm like, great to hear.
Now, yeah, but I was gonna say, how do you guys feel about the 30 days? Like the test.
I think
it's a blessing for the console people because they get to try the game for free without having to pay for it and make their judgments based on if they like the game or not. Meanwhile, we kind of had to just be like, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and do this and kind of go straight into it. So
I think everything with the CBT is great. The fact that you're using NA and EU together, you're not just doing one region, right? You're combining two regions. That's huge. You're doing PS4 and PS5. That's great. You're not limiting to just one. And the fact that it's cross-platform, PC, PS4, PS5 can all play together. All right. I know, yes, we do. So for those who don't know, this show is mainly about Predecessor, but we will bring up other games for reference. And so I'm bringing up most recently, PTO did theirs. They had a CBT 3 months ago or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact time frame.
Sometime.
So they had a CBT as well. They only did NA, which is weird that a Korean company, don't know what part of this. Anyway, so a Korean company.
I don't think that's the right one.
A Korean company. They do their CBT for just North America, right? They didn't do any other regions. They only did one. They only did it for PS5, and it was limited to only PS5 players could play with each other. So like this kind of gives you the ability, because I have friends that are on PlayStation, PS5 or PS4 that have been wanting and I have my son. Once my son found out about that this game's going to be out for close, he can't wait to get on it. Like he's going to be jumping on and play with us on the PS4. So he's excited to play with me. But you can kind of like us PC players can go in like, all right, hey, we'll show you the ropes a little bit. Like we can help you out, come team up with us. We'll do viewer games and stuff like that. And like you can kind of let them come in and have fun with it, and then but also give them more information and then have them have a better chance of just having a better time than just kind of being thrown into it. And like you have your Paragon players that are going to jump in, they're going to have fun pretty much right away, right? The game's going to be slightly different than what Paragon is, but it's not too different. But then you have your people that it's like, this game looks cool, I want to jump in and try it, and then they're just gonna get ran over because they don't know what a third-person MOBA is like. And this gives us that chance to kind of help them along and give them that boost. So I'm all about it. Everything they've done with it, the 30 days is perfect. It gives you enough time to get enough data. It gives them enough time to get a game in for through the holidays, and then get excited for when it comes out again.
My one downside is that maybe I'm wrong. Someone can correct me on this if I'm wrong. Had they ever said that what they were going to get was a limited time test in 2023? Because from my understanding, I thought the goal was to like full launch in 2023 on console.
There was never a word said. It
was never said either way.
It was never said
there's
either
no confirmation.
I was a little disappointed when I saw that it was a limited time test.
Overarchingly,
I think it's still like obviously a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but I'm 10% disappointed.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
They said they're going to do a beta first.
I think Ace mentioned the phrase beta during the last time he was on Predcast.
Right. He said they'll do a beta first before they full launch.
The original, like, hey, when we know that we're pushing for console, nothing was said what they were going to do. We asked, and there was no decision yet of what was happening. And then most recently, when Ace was on here, he said they were going with it was being more of a beta style, and then we'd go from there. And I think a beta is a great decision. I think
don't get me wrong. Stress test for console, like again, this beta obviously they said that they'll be sending out keys in waves. That they didn't use the word stress test, I don't think, but like if you're sending out keys in waves, you're stress testing. That's the goal.
Yep.
And I think that's I don't think it's a bad thing. I was just a tiny bit disappointed that it wasn't full console launch.
You were just hoping it was coming out.
The question becomes, how long do you have to wait after January 5th until console players get to play again?
Which I will say.
Big Tone says, yeah, I was under the impression it was only going to be a week or two. 4 weeks is sweet.
Bro, it's bold of them for them to do it over the holidays. That means they're not going to have much time to breathe. Go ahead, F6.
I mean, I thought it was just going to be a weekend test. Like, hey, here's 2 days. Test out the game, see if you like it, so we can get some feedback.
Oh, people would have been pissed, bro. If it was 1 weekend, people would have been mad.
No, I know, but that's what I was expecting. Like trying to be like realistic. Hey, we're testing some stuff out. We don't want to like overload everything. But the fact that it's 4 weeks, that's That's legit.
What
My question. Oh, go ahead, Pinto.
How early do you guys think it'll come back? If this is, because they're obviously, if it's getting a test, they pass the certification. That's my assumption.
Yeah.
Does anyone know if that's how it works? Can you fail the certification and still get like a test? And not
I don't know. I assume the same thing you said.
I assume that they passed their certification, which means they could open it up anytime, right? How long do you think that they'll make us wait?
To me, the CBT is the test to see how the servers are working, how it's for them to be able to understand how pushing a patch to PlayStation, then also pushing that same patch to PC is going to work. It's them understanding how to fix a bug on only PlayStation when it's not a bug on PC. It's for them to fix a bug that's on PC but it's not on PlayStation, to understand the differences and what's going on. To me, it's more of a test for them on the back end and for us to, and then for them to get data and to fix all those issues that they may have, because we all know that we don't want to have that alpha test that we've had before. Hopefully all that back end work that the other third party did. I can't remember their name. Sorry, forgive me for that, but I don't remember their name. That they did. Hopefully they did enough work that we're not going to have that issue again. And that's what I would say it is.
Like the last stress test that we had for Pred before last December launched was in April, and then we didn't get Pred until December. So I was, that's a pretty big gap. Is that the kind of gap that we're looking at for console? My guess is no, but
the reason we had that big of a gap though is because of the issue we had, I would say.
Because you couldn't play any games.
Because they had all those back end issues. So as long as we don't have those back end issues and it's just minor things they have to fix, I would say we roll right in. We don't, not instantly, but we roll into it pretty quickly. Right, where there's going to be a time away, but then they're going to take that time to, because it's not only is it going to be like, hey, servers weren't strong enough or whatever. There's going to be feedback. There's going to be controller feedback. There's going to be the actual what's the word I'm looking for? How I would say feedback for the players when they're playing the game and how the game feels to them. They're going to, hey, this doesn't feel right. We'll get more into that too when we're talking about projectiles later on. This is hey, we don't like this, how this feels when we press this button. When you press this button, it's supposed to feel good, but it's not feeling good. And they make those changes. That's when it's okay. Hey, we've taken all of our feedback, we've compiled it, we've done this, we made these changes. Here we go. We are going now. We could also go into another closed beta test after this. After this one, because after the changes, all right, now we got to test those changes. Let's go, and we can go from there.
I do also think they go into a second closed beta, but right after that second closed beta, they kind of roll straight into the full release of console, either if that's free to play as well. But I think that definitely is going to be a second one, depending on how the first one goes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll low-key, I'm just shocked. Is that just me? I didn't think that they were. Think about it. We skipped a few weeks because we're we don't really have much to talk about. New patches around the corner. Let's kind of wait.
Boom.
And then bam. Now it's how fucking long were they planning this? You know what I mean?
It's not very long at all. Is my guess. My guess is as soon as they pass the certification that blog post.
I think that's part of the planning, though. I think they were planning. They were all right, hey.
They were planning to do it, maybe do it a while ago.
When we pass, let's have a plan ready. So when we're good, so then we can just get it going. So that planning I think the planning, because of the fact that we got the whole sooner than you think, and some other comments before. I feel like they thought that their passing of this certification was going to be earlier. They thought we were going to have the CBT by November, right? So I feel like this planning has been going on for a while. It was that certification that was holding us back. So once they got
waiting for the green light to post,
boom, here we go. It's dropped.
I almost think if their plan was a 1 month closed beta test, December 5th to January 5th is way better than November 14th or whatever. 14th to December 14th.
Well, we saw last year. Last year they took off a week or so for the holidays, right?
There's supposed to be a patch on December 26th this year, so I'm curious what they do about that.
Well, yeah, I'm curious as well because but I think there's still going to be a patch, and the reason I think there's still going to be a patch is because that's going to help them push a patch across PlayStation and understand how it works. So I think they're still going to do it. How big that patch is and what's going to happen with it, I don't know. But ironically, guys, I don't know if you guys even thought about this, but so this is coming out December 5th. December 5th is actually patch day for us. That's supposed to be version 13, right? So version 0.13.0 is what it was supposed to be. Technically, if that would, because that's our patch day, it technically is also our 1 year anniversary. December 2nd is when this game dropped. So this is also like an anniversary thing too. Like, hey, happy 1 year. Here's PlayStation. Now, hopefully it's not another year when we get full release. Let's hopefully things speed up a little faster than that. Let's not make these anniversaries a thing like this, but let's go from there.
Reaper in the chat is guessing that we're gonna get full PlayStation access probably by the end of the season, if we're getting the test in the first half of the season.
Well, he's saying that it'll launch with Season 4 or whatever they call it after Season 3 is kind of his point, which would be early April, would be that date.
If they go straight into after Season 3, because they did say they're not sure what is coming after Season 3.
They said like Season 3 is the last season of EA in this format. Do they call the next one Season 4? Is it still early access? Who knows, but like the next thing after Season 3. I mean, I think that'd be like intelligently would be a good time to drop console. But the other thing is if they plan to go free to play after Season 3, do you want to let console players in to grind some of the early access rewards? Like, is that something that you want to do? Or are you just kind of like, elbozo, you don't get to grind the rewards?
Well, good transition there too, because there were a lot of people that were kind of surprised as to the fact that their PC progress isn't going to be able to use on console because there's no cross progression yet. There will be at one point. Worth mentioning it out there because I know some people were just kind of malding. It will be there eventually, but it won't be there for the test specifically, is what they stated. Now, I am going to give a quick little shout out to the team also because this new website that they put together definitely is looking on the spicy side. So kudos.
2 out of 10, no dark mode.
No dark mode?
Dark mode is a 10 out of 10. 2 out of 10 until you get dark mode on the website.
It's not that deep. I'm not gonna lie. Just turn down your brightness on your computers.
Just turn down your brightness. Hold on.
You shouldn't be having your computer brightness on.
You have a shadow on your wall, man. Your brightness is beyond maxed out.
Get one of those security screens that you get you see in the dentist office that they have over their computer, so you can't nobody can see from the angle. That'll dim it down a little bit for you.
Right. Yeah.
Bro, I opened the patch notes on my phone at 7 a.m. when I woke up, and I was like,
flashbang.
I was like, oh my god, what just happened?
Bro, but I will say the overall structure, how we get let's say for example this closed beta Q&A that they posted, right? The fact that on the left hand side you got these little tabs that you can click on and skip to certain sections and the tab stays pretty static, right? I love that. I love the organization there. The contrast, I got no problem with it. Overall, I prefer, and I'll pull this up on the screen here, in the early access patch, they included much more art in certain portions, which definitely helped break out the white on black just constantly everywhere, a little bit of color here and there. I did notice that on the
more runes for Bearded to finish his alphabet with.
Yeah.
Right.
I did see that actually because there's still 2 devs that I don't know who exactly they are because I can't finish. I don't know what that letter is. I did see that I have those. I haven't just had time to go and actually decipher them yet. But I'm like, obviously I know that that's the names of each hero that's got fixed. So I'm like, ooh, I got more letters now. I can probably go figure that one person out. So I think
overall, obviously the website is a huge upgrade.
It's
no
definitely
dark mode caught me off guard, but overall, obviously the website is a huge upgrade. Just to be clear.
And they are going to have...
I actually hate the website.
And they are going to have a closed test on the 20th, they mentioned, right?
That one's closed. From what I heard, that's like a content creator kind of sort of test.
It's a private. Okay. So there's a private closed beta is the November 20th to the November 20th. And then the public closed test, it starts on the December 5th. So...
Now,
closed beta opens exclusively for a limited number of invitees.
Yeah. Whatever.
Whoever you are, right?
I don't know if that's just IT. I don't know. I mean, I would think IT would already have that.
Limit it? If it's going to be open, if it's going to be open queues, how much can you really limit that? That's
you imagine only 1,000 people fill up.
I was going to say only 100. I mean, what? You're never going to get a game, dog. I mean, you just don't get to play.
Unless they do something coordinated. Like imagine you boot up the game and it'll be like, hey, queues are happening between 5 and 9, for example.
you know, from like, you know, 5 Eastern to 10 Eastern, queues will be open, and that'd be fine. But...
maybe it's gonna be the partners, and they're gonna let us stream it. And we'll do some testing. We'll do our little partner creator deal that we have.
And then,
I mean,
I don't have a
Ace.
It'll be the partners like me and Window that have the availability to do it.
I mean, Ace and Intharth bring up a good point. It is cross-platform. So even if it's just 100 people that get in, they'll just get added to the rest of the pool.
That's fair. That's fair. When it said closed, I was thinking just PlayStation, but no, that makes
no.
sense.
Yeah, you guys would still be able to help us out, you know, by giving us queues. You would be the people to fill in the queue for us, because us PlayStation people are trying to get in, get some games in, and see what it's like. So we would be able to, you know, you would be like, all right, I'll come in, I'll game with you.
Wait, us? Are you going back to PlayStation, Bearded?
I got my son's PS4 right in the other room, dude. I'll easily bring this out here. Like.
Yeah, I want to do PlayStation games. I'm gonna be trash, but I'm down for it.
I can't go back 100. I can't take the PlayStation from the kid. Like I can, hey,
you can give him the PC
stream. You know, that's how am I gonna stream it then? I'm gonna have that the old PlayStation.
PlayStation can stream. Yeah. Have the chat on the side. Yeah. You know, you figure it out. You figure it out.
Thank you, dude.
Bro, the influx of console players on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and everything has been nuts. I'm just throwing that out there. It's honestly a very, very nice boost.
My views are up.
My views are up. This guy.
Is that now
basically what I was saying? Yeah, in general, bro. In general. I can't with it.
Yeah. I don't know what you. Forget I said anything. Next, what's next?
Aye, bro.
Big Tones did say there were 25K signups as of current, which is a huge number, because I remember we were talking about last time we checked it was 20K. So still at 25K, haven't been released yet.
Yeah.
That's just 2 days worth. So, and another thing I like about that, I'm glad you brought that up. So you have that. So that's your queue spot, right? So whoever signs up right now, it's over 27K now. So 27K. So let's say you sign up right now, you're 27K, right? Let's say you're 28K when you sign up now. One thing I like about it, and it's all about promoting word of mouth, is if you are able to refer people and you get them to use your link to take them, that moves you up, that boosts you up in the queue.
Such a savage system, bro.
Yes, that's great.
I love it.
Brutal,
amazing.
Man.
It's a pyramid scheme.
legit. But it's so smart because it promotes word of mouth. It promotes like, hey, I'm sending my link to all my homies. Just click on it, sign up. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's a great idea from their internal team.
It might be the smartest like business decision that I've seen Omida make thus far. Like actually. Because I think it's a fantastic idea, but a lot of like the business side decisions, Omida kind of fumbles every now and then, right? Like the affinity being paid, blah blah blah, you know, etc. But like,
I mean, I get you. I get you.
It's a really good idea.
As far as I get you. As far as like marketing and business wise, like that,
like marketing,
it's actually a really really clever idea by all means. Hashtag Herbalife clearly. But Ace said it was my idea. By the way, guys, if you guys are looking at the screen, in case you guys are just on the listening only mode, audio only mode, on the screen on the website, you go to predecessorgame.com, you're going to be able to see a PlayStation sign up button, or if you go to the main page in its own, relatively easy. You just click the play now button, and then from there you just choose. It'll inform you on what exactly is going on in the community. But yeah, so you'll be able to sign up easily at predecessorgame.com. Now, I heard some people saying that you could also sign up for Xbox, but that's at a later date, nothing right now. Like not a formal sign up, just kind of throw your name on the list.
Yeah, it's kind of like
a newsletter to get more information. When they have information, there'll be a newsletter set out, and you'll get that information at that time.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering. I was like, yo, a little early? Question mark. But you know what's hilarious, bro? The fact that the moment that they drop on PlayStation, the first comment I see on Twitter is Xbox win. Swear to God. I'm
honestly, what else would you expect? Would you expect anything less or more from the Pred community?
Bro, right? I just expected that shit to not show up at all. I was like, finally, bro, it's gonna end. It's gonna end.
My question was too broad.
Yeah, it was too broad. It's too broad.
But yeah, they're gonna be redistributing keys probably, you know, Could be a couple hundred at a time, couple thousand at a time. You'll probably just wait for your email, so to speak, right? And then you get access from there. Is there anything specifically about the Q&A that you guys want to go over? I've been showing it a little bit on the screen, but I definitely encourage everybody to go to the Q&A, read through it. A lot of really good stuff. Kind of
honest, I didn't read it, so
I read the Q&A, and it gives some pretty good answers. I do want to like cover something though. There's a lot of stuff that just typically from a business standpoint, you'll see in there like, that's what we're hoping for, or like, we hope this happens, but also like if it doesn't, there's this kind of thing. You're gonna see that there just because they kind of have to put that there. I forgot what it was. One of the ones where like the store is gonna be open. I remember that being brought up.
There were like things on Reddit about progress being reset, right? Your account being reset.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is false.
Which is false, right? Because it says like they're hoping to like keep everything like progress, right? So just keep in mind like that little remark at the end is usually just there for like a CYA thing. So the goal is to have everything like be tracked and you guys should be good to go. Because I'm gonna tell you,
spend any money, it will not be gone.
Yeah,
if you buy
it will
skins,
not be
they're
gone.
not going to disappear.
Because I think that would be the worst thing Omega will ever do is to allow you to buy something and then just take it away from you. I'm pretty sure that's a lawsuit and that's not going to happen. So if you're worried
I'm pretty sure that's a lawsuit.
If you're worried about that, just don't worry about it.
So
is my kind of concern on that.
I legit went into our partner Discord and I asked that exact question because when I read that part of the Q&A, I knew that people would feel that way. And if that came across that way, then that's like that can be an issue. And with everything that happened with Affinity and how that came out and stuff like that, that's just like that's something you don't. That's a road you don't want to go down. Like it's like if this is 100%. What you're talking about, we want to fix this. Don't make this a thing, and let's fix it now before it becomes a thing. So that's what I so I made the comment, and Robbie actually was the one that replied back to me and said that's not going to be a problem.
He replied to the Reddit threads as well. He was
did he awesome.
He was very quick about it actually.
I'm so glad we got you two on here because I like my life.
I stay out of that cesspool, bro.
Reddit rabbit hole, so I actually enjoy what's going on in my life.
Guy, but when it was literally like on stream one day. I ended stream and I had like 3 Reddit notifications from the Predecessor sub, and they were all like, "Progress is gonna be wiped. They're not gonna let us keep our stuff from closed beta." And I was like, "All right, I got to check in on this."
Reddit is a dark hole you do not want to be in. Yeah, it's rough in Reddit. You gotta have a stronger mental than your pred games. To be honest,
your mental's got to be stronger in Reddit than it does in your pred matches. For real,
100%.
Well, that's why I don't go there because I already have a weak mental as when it comes to my pred matches. So especially recently, man, I've been having some issues going on. But
my game's
all good.
And that brings me to another thing. A lot of people think like this influx of whatever the number ends up being of players coming in for that month is gonna like
fix all their problems.
Your games and like all the people are gonna be just fantastic. In my opinion, the top, like we were talking about, like the top 10, bottom 10%, you're not gonna see a change, to be honest. And it's probably gonna be worse because they're
at least not initially
to the game.
Not initially, because there's a chance that players climb to the top 10 or to the bottom 10.
There will be
eventually
players who will make it high enough.
That week 3 or week 4,
week 3,
week 4, my silver players will be doing great.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is though, don't be like, oh yeah, like this is gonna change the whole entire aspect of these players that we get in a game, because these players are going to be new.
Get ready for a lot of placement. A lot of placements are going to happen. A lot of people on auto build, a lot of people, following a YouTube video online is not working. Slowly turning on that sensitivity too low. He's like, oh, where'd he go?
Sensitivity of 1.
Yeah.
Since there's going to be an event going on, like for me, this is me mentally and how I look at it. Like right now, if I queue up in Pred right now, there's a good chance I'm going to get summoned in placements. And it's just kind of like, oh my gosh. Well, not right now, because right now, obviously, the announcement of PlayStation is coming out. So because of that, and because IGN announced it and put it in there, that's another great thing about this. They announced the closed beta test in IGN. So that's even getting more eyes on this game. So we're going to get more an influx on people just as it is right now. So let's go back 3 weeks ago, I'm still getting placement people in my matches. And it's at that point, it's like nothing's happening right now for new players to come in. So if there is new players, that's fine. But like, why are they in my matches? Like, why are they?
I was about to say, that's going to mean there's going to be a lot of placements on placement, like 10 lobbies, 10 people full of placement.
Right.
Sort of,
it's going to be better in that situation. Should be, right? As long as MM's working the way it's supposed to be. We all have our thoughts on that. But anyways, so it's an issue. But like, if I'm going, when December 5th and on, I'm going to be like, hey, I know going into this, there's a good chance we might get some people in here that are new. Let's help them. Let's coach them in. Let's bring them up. Let's give them, have a good time. It's a complete different mental mindset when you're going through an actual event like that. But if it's just like a normal day on Pred and you're getting these issues, then it's like, okay, now that just like you're not ready, you're not mentally prepped for it. You're mentally prepped for it. It's a different situation.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a casual queue, right?
True.
It's not like they're coming in to play ranked.
No.
Wrong. I'm still trying to get my win rate fixed. I'm sitting here at 38%. I'm down in Pinzo's level. I gotta get higher.
Oh, shots fired.
Holy shit.
Pinzo's at least 39%. Calm down.
Guys got half my win rate trying to throw shots out the door. I don't know, man.
That's because you played Murdock. I saw you. Anyway.
But I do think it's a good thing though. The place they're coming in at a better place of the game. Because we've been through like, what is it, 11 months? What it's going to be 12 months by the time console comes out of like giving feedback, trying to fix stuff. Like, I think where the game is at right now is a good place for console to come in, as in like how the game feels.
Interesting. Well, you know what? I actually had who was it? Pharaoh came into I think he came into the chat at one point. That he's like, well, do we think, even though this is going to be a short testing period, right, for like a month, do we think that Predecessor has all this enough features in place for players to kind of get the hang of it, play, or is this going to be a more Paragon dedicated community, Predecessor dedicated community that's playing, so maybe they don't need as much because they already kind of know what's going on a little bit? What do y'all think about that?
So
I think they should make
my
it like
point
bot
is
match.
Yeah, I think they should definitely have like 5 or 6 bot matches to play, but that's on a whole entire other whim. But coming in though, I want to go back to like when we first started playing. It roughly took us a couple months before we really started to like get burnt out on what we had, right? So They only have 1 month and they're coming in and they're like, they're going to play this. They're going to, first of all, take maybe like a week or 2 to really get in the flow of things. And then the last 2 weeks kind of go in and kind of just have fun with the game. I don't think the time period that they have is going to be long enough for them to be like, oh, we need this or we need that. I think there's enough content, one, because they've added content since like we started playing, right? So they have more to really go into than
that's true. Different experience.
I think that's good enough for what they're getting. And then hopefully by the time we go to full like console release, we'll have like maybe a rank system or a little bit more change inside the game to where now it's like, okay, we have enough to actually sustain a decent player base.
Well, on that note, I believe that Ace confirmed this in my chat either this week or last week. I don't know if this has been said anywhere, but I confirmed is maybe not the right thing, but he said that we're getting new items on December 5th in that patch.
Well, he did just mention in the chat just now, just wrote new items. Like that's he literally just wrote that.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it because I don't want to like.
No, we're talking like new. Like new items, or be like, hey, like this item got reworked and it's a new one.
That question, and he said brand new items.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like if it's new. Okay, all right, you cooking. See, so if they're adding new items, then they're gonna have more than enough.
Bro, speaking of, I would love to see items with flair. Like I think an example like Stormbreaker is a cool item, right? Adds a little bit of flair, pizzazz, like some visual effect going on, right?
Life to the item.
Yeah. Like items like Sky Splitter, cool item, but nothing really changes in the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to
literally
see.
split the sky. Like that's what it should do.
Okay.
I can't with you, bro.
All right.
Out the window.
But-
Okay.
I do. If they add an item, I do hope they at least try and add a crest that gives mages a cleanse, because I think that's probably one of the biggest things.
Ace just said there's a few items.
Dirty, there's no cleansing them.
There's no
I can't with them, bro. Yo, Ace has said there's a few items with flair. Cooked a little bit.
Ooh.
So a few. Watch
Okay.
them all be solo items. Get me out, bro.
No, that's good. What do you mean? Let us cook over in the off
As long
lane.
as they're
What's wrong
not
with you?
carry items, dog.
Yeah.
Watch them untouch carry items for the 18th patch in a row.
Honestly,
Kenzo, bro, you act like you're not gonna use them in the jungle. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying I won't. I'm just saying, watch them not nerf carry items for that 1 millionth patch.
I
I mean, I think carry items are in a good place.
I think there's like 3 very blatantly OP carry items, but
No. We just don't pay attention to those 3. We just let them.
oh,
be there.
outside. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
Then in that case, yeah, we're good.
Just
Hashtag
use them,
Vanquisher.
you'll be fine.
But no, I gotta say, I'm surprised that they're doing this over the Christmas break. I know that they're trying to get it probably as quick as possible, so you guys are probably right. The moment they got approved, they're like, send it, bro. Like, let's not think about it too much. Send it. But that literally means that they basically aren't really gonna have a Christmas break themselves. There's somebody
Well, I was
always gonna have to be
say,
outside.
Is this a good time, Ace? Can you tell us if we're getting a patch on the 26th? Because as per like the schedule, that's when a patch would go live. But if you guys are
Isn't
actually taking holidays, then would it go live? Are you guys gonna push
Dude,
it forward?
why- I mean,
Last
is that
year they
like a
took the last
balance
week of the year, right?
That's a balance patch. It's
They could have it scheduled ahead of time, so they could still
Yeah.
do it.
might be
Yeah,
a
Santa's
smaller
just gonna
balance
push the
patch.
patch as he's making his rounds. It'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
fine. It'll be there on the
Well-
26th.
He said, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
Might be earlier or later. So they might just take holiday earlier or later.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's EU. They don't celebrate Christmas, right? Something like that. I don't know.
I don't think that's super true.
Aye. So is there anything about the trailer, the PlayStation announcement that you guys specifically want to talk about before we go over a
we
different
kinda hit it all.
conversation? Right?
One thing I do want to say, I have it confirmed. Demande will be on the show. We won't have a show next week, but the week after that, the 29th, we'll do another show with Demande, and we're going to talk about all that went into, because he came in and he's talking about how he's working on controller for
Haptic feedback.
stuff like that. So we're going to get more information. We're going to dig into the Demande's brain and figure out what all went into it and get more information and get more hype going into this patch coming out on the 5th. So excited about that. So that December 29th, we'll have Demande on. That'll be great. So make sure you have the notifications turned on so you can get here live and talk to Demande.
I see. Now, since we didn't really get a chance to talk about these affinities, what do you guys think about these skins, these affinities and everything? Like, how are you feeling a few weeks in?
Does anyone?
Versus-
Who all has one? Is my first question.
I mean, you got to be a no life to have one, right?
I know Windu has one because I watched some of his stuff, but
So you don't watch the rest of ours. Okay, got it.
That's
No worries.
that's what he said.
Windu had
No
his
worries.
on like 2 days after the patch. That's why I know.
Oh, bro, yeah, I got my Narbash on like day 3, like a level 10 Narbash on day 3 or 4 or some shit like that.
Some of us have responsibilities. All right.
Hey man, I'm throw it out there. I don't recommend that to anybody. Like playing playing 100 matches in like 3-4 day span is rough. Like being on like hour 20 of stream and then I'm just going up against like, oh look, there goes freaking Simba on the other team. Oh, hey, look, there goes Sneaky. There goes freaking, I don't know, a whole bunch of players. There goes Tim's over there. I'm like, it's fucking like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm tired. I'm like hour 20 of grinding. I don't need all this sweatiness going up against me, bro. But it was fun, but I definitely say, hey, pace yourself out. Don't do that shit. That shit's definitely not healthy.
Zarus is the best skin, hands down.
I am 19K from getting Zarus' skin. I have Grux's skin already. I didn't finish. I didn't do the full level 10. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get to the skin, because to me that's the best part about it is the skin. So I'm trying to get to the skin. I want to get a few of my people, the characters I use, have that skin ready, and then I'll bounce back and forth between them and just keep on getting that XP, and then eventually get those level 10 situations.
Yeah, the level 10 crown is just to scare people away from you in lane.
Well, honestly, I gotta say, like, the level 10 crown makes the character look that much better. Like for example, Narbash, which was the first one that I got, without that level 10 crown, looks good. By all means, if you just got a gold one or with no crown, excuse me, still looks good. But once that level 10 crown kicks in there, it's like a chef's kiss. Like that shit's just that much spicier, and it definitely changes like the whole vibe of the skin. So I dig it, but I know there's a lot of people out there. Let's say Pappy, for example, got his skin no grind. I'm sorry, not no grind, no pass playing, no premium. Thank you. And there's a lot of people that are just gonna earn the skin and not have that crown. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but I definitely think the crown makes it look that much better. I don't know if you guys have seen many crowns around or whatever.
I mean, hopefully the tokens kind of come in a little bit quicker than they plan to, and then that could be fixed. But I do want to say though, there are a lot of people out there just kind of playing their characters, which is expected. It doesn't matter what role, doesn't matter what they're trying to do, if it fits or not. They're just playing it, and it's just like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I understand what you're trying to do. But
bam, now that Affinity's there, that's always going to happen. It's like I'm working on Murdock. I'm either going to go carry or solo. Your pick. It's like
no. I've seen a Wraith jungle, and it was not the best of games. And yeah, it was not a fun time.
That the mindset that Chloe just wrote in the chat is 1000%. If you force me jungle, you're just gonna get a Gideon jungle, bro. Blame yourself. Like, fuck. Oh man. But besides that, not only does that add a little bit of variety to the matches, because quite frankly, I'm getting tired of seeing like always the same dual lane picks and stuff like that because they were stronger, right? But I think it adds a little bit of variety, even though some picks are 1000% a throw. And I don't know. I think it's made games a little more exciting. Just seeing like people go for their specific characters that you're trying to grind.
It does increase where like people are actually trying now, instead of playing meta stuff, just playing what they want to play, essentially, like the character they want to play. But at the same time, I feel like people are stuck on just trying to play that character, like I was saying before, and not really kind of evolve in the game. They're just grinding a skin. So it's like a win and like a loss in like certain aspects. But as long as you're enjoying the game, doing what you love, hats off to you.
I got the reverse of that actually, and I know I'm a minority in that situation. I'm not saying what you're experiencing is wrong, F6, but me personally, I'm doing the opposite of that. So I went from being a carry main to being an offlane main that hated playing anywhere else. But here I am now because I want to play. I want to grind Grux. I want to grind Xerath. I'm actually playing a lot more jungle and offlane. So I'm forcing myself to learn the jungle and getting better at the jungle than what I am doing offlane. So I've been consistently playing jungle, Xerath's jungle with this grind because I feel like he does better there, and I can get more with his ganks with that than I can with offlane. I choose offlane now when I just don't want to think. Like I just like, all right, here I just want to sit here and just I don't want to worry about anything, and I don't want to get blamed in chat because I'm not ganking enough. So I was like, I'm choosing offlane, and then if I want to like actually sweat and play hard, I'll go jungle. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you there, F6, but
I mean, you did offend me.
You know I'm right though.
Isn't F6 a support man?
No.
Right? Didn't he say that shit, Pinzo?
No,
he did say that before. He did say that before.
I was when I was trying to play competitive, and then that didn't work out so well because I'm not a good player. But then
I feel you.
Then I went back to the off lane, and then I was like, this is where I belong, back to the island, and it is not a snooze lane. All right. You just gotta
kind of a snoozer lane, not gonna lie.
No, it's not. First of all,
it depends on that first 1v1, bro.
Okay, yeah,
it depends on the first 1v1.
It's not bad, F6.
1 for 10. I will pull up the VODs, Penzo. All right.
One of them.
I can't with y'all, bro.
Singular.
I can't with y'all.
But anyways, what I'm saying is that is a different perspective, because I actually do agree with that point there, because I shouldn't say like all the players are doing that, because I specifically started the Kira grind to get better at the carry role, to force myself to play that. So that is also a different perspective that is good.
True. Now, total side note, between the Affinity patch and the one that we just got, what's up with the menu? I saw that. Like the menu in the background went from being like all
the old one back,
all detailed and everything to now just being kind of like smoke in the background, I guess, right?
I blame Smokey.
You blame Smokey. I can't.
That, and I was just like, I'm just gonna let that one cook itself. I'm not sure what they're doing with that, but
I thought my update didn't finish. I'm like, oh man, I might have to
reboot, validate files.
What was that? What is that thing when you load into Destiny 2? Your shaders are always uploading.
Oh yeah,
my shaders haven't finished. Man, I gotta. What's going on here? Like that's what I thought happened. I'm like, what is this? Like that. That also explains how bad it is.
Boot up the menu real quick, Pinzo. Look at the background.
Start the game.
Peep it.
Look in the background. You'll see.
So here's my thing on it. Could be totally off the wall, but I personally think it's a lesser version of what they had.
Smokey too.
You blame Smokey too? Okay, spicy. But so I think it's a downgrade because it went from more intricate to more simple. Now, given the fact that they failed their test and they publicly let us know, and now they're officially announcing, what if it had something to do with the UI? What if it's like there was just complications and they're like, hey, this is simpler, but it works. Maybe this isn't what we'll get in the long run, because they did mention before when Ace was here, they're going to do constant iterations to the UI, whether it be in-game or in menu as time goes on, and add things, switch things up, etc. It's not a final copy. But in its own, what if that was it?
And it could be. They did say that. You're not wrong. It could be. I just hope they're able to go back to something a little bit, because they went from when this first UI dropped, it literally was just a blue background. There was nothing there, right? And then we got an update, and then there was, it's almost like that the opacity of that blue background, kind of, was able to see a little more transparent. You're able to see through it, like you can actually see something behind you, like, okay, there's actually some depth there, and it made it look better. And now we got the gray background, and it's like, okay, well, fuck, now we got to adjust the opacity on the gray background, because this is just, it's not right. It just makes it, again, it looks like your shaders didn't completely finish. It's what that's how bad it looks. It just looks like like something's off. So I'm not a fan of it, but again, it's because I know what was. Anybody new coming in, they're not going
to be able to tell.
It's not going to be bad, right? It's going straight, but it's like I know what it used to be, and it's I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me too much personally. I just go to another screen, like the item menu or like the hero affinity screen.
Intharth says in chat, bursting the bubble, it's a temporary adjustment while they change the main thing.
Figured, let them cook.
Not bursting the bubble. That's actually fixing the bubble, I think. That's solidifying the bubble. Like, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Everything's gonna be taken care of. Like, it's just a temporary issue.
Yeah, wait, how is it bursting the bubble? Isn't that what I said? Like, it might just be a temporary thing, right?
It's no, it don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so before we move on, because I feel like now that we're going into this new patch, affinity grind, what are your guys' thought? Do you guys think the grind is too much? Do you think the amount of games you need to get to this, the affinity skin is too much? Do you think it's not enough? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't think it's too much, because I'm considering how they want the system to fully be. So the whole entire system is supposed to be based with tokens as well, right? Grinding out levels to get tokens, right? So the length of it right now, it seems like by the time you're able to even grind out one affinity skin, you should be able to get multiple tokens. So essentially, I'm thinking it's a good grind. So you could pretty much earn like pretty much a free token essentially to do something else in the game. So I feel like it's good enough. So like if you're like, hey, I want to grind on this character all the way to level 10, by the time you earn it to level 10, you get a token for that character, and you possibly get like another token because you're playing so many matches, if that makes sense.
My question is, do you think it's a good thing for Pred to incentivize people to play only one character for that long?
I don't think really. Here's the thing. Initially, people might say, hey, play the one character, right? But I think realistically, like for example, I grinded the hell out of that Narbash, right? And then I went into Bellica right after. But after that, I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, if I'm mid lane, I pick this character. If I'm jungle, I pick that character. And I have like 5 core characters that I'm slowly leveling up depending on the role that I get. Right. I think initially people might do that, but after a while, they're like, bro, I'm going to play whatever. I'm working on Gideon and Chimera at the same time, you know? I think that's what it's going to end up in.
Yeah, I don't think it forces you to play one character, because I think you put yourself in that position. If you get a different role, you should be like, okay, let me fill that role.
Well, again, right? my word choice was incentivized. Do you think that they should be making like this big incentive of these really cool skins that are like going to make people just one trick whatever they want?
I think that's just what it's the what's the word for? That's the con you get with the player retention, right? You know, you're the player retention. You're getting player retention, but you're gonna get a one trick for a little bit. The hope is with that player retention and that one trick, that the player plays enough that they're, you know what, like I'm really actually enjoying this game, and they continue playing after they get that unlock, and then they go on to something else. Like that's the hope with that. So you kind of have to take the con with the pro in that situation. That's the way I see it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I was just curious what you guys thought.
Yeah.
Well, let me add to that though. You think they're necessarily the ones incentivizing it? Because usually the average player has like 1 or 2 characters that they main. You get what I'm saying? Like not all of them can game as much as like the 4 of us here, for example. And the average person will be like, hey, he's a Gideon main, and it's secondary, he might play Chimera jungle, but he doesn't play that many roles, that many characters. For the average person, that might be the way to keep him playing the game, because Gideon's his boy. Gideon is his character. Like he's a Gideon main. That's what he loves, and that's his reward. You know, for like the average player, I don't necessarily think they're incentivizing it. I think that they're more, I don't know, assisting what's already going to happen. Maybe
that's fair.
And just because it's a really good skin, right? Remember, like the focus is like, obviously they haven't like dropped like those humongous skins that like we've been hoping for, right? But like the goal is not this to be like the only skin that's like the greatest, right? The real goal is to like have the shop have like the greatest skins or whatever, right? So I don't think that's the reason to force them to do it. And I think as well, like there's going to be more player retention stuff, like playing ranked, and hopefully there's like a role queue. So like there's like a lot of different layers that is going to be added on later to like kind of make this system not necessarily like a, oh, this is the only thing you have to grind for kind of thing, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Now, do you guys think that so Pappy, we know Pappy, we talked about how he was able to fully grind Richter with no
level 10 with no premium.
With no premium, but no the 30% boost there, right? XP boost. Do you guys think for the people who aren't able to get that boost or just don't want to get that boost, do you think that top the free affinity level, do you think that that's enough? You know, do you think maybe there should be a flop with one of those, maybe like at least give us 1 crown out of all of them, you know, something like that, you know, like to grind for free?
I think the crowns are I think the crowns, I'd rather pay for the crowns than the skin, because the skin gives me more.
I'm not saying put the skin down there. The skin stays up there, but I'm saying like maybe your level, what is it, level 2, level 1 you get a crown, right? So maybe at the level 1 you get a blue crown, but your purple and gold and master crown, those are all, if you want to get those unlocked, those are,
you're saying get some crown at some extent for free.
Free.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that way, so right now Pappy can play Richter and use the Richter affinity skin, prestige skin, but he has no way of wearing a crown. At least if he was able to, if the blue crown was flipped and you could put that on the free platform, the blue one, the first one, then he can at least wear the blue crown with the, he at least can wear a crown with his prestige skin.
I would say no.
Situation.
I would say no, because here's the thing. There's two things that you can carry with you regardless of your skin. And that's the title and the crown. Title is for the loading screen. Crown is for in-game, right? I don't, like, I would be more upset and feel more baited if I got the baby crown, you know, the baby blue crown, and then all the other crowns were locked. I would be more upset at that. I'd rather have all the crowns be behind the premium system. Like, it's either all or nothing sort of vibe for me. And then besides that, I still get the titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still, when I go into a game, it'll say expert this, adept that, master this, regardless of the skin that I choose. So there is still something that can show your experience, even though you're not necessarily carrying it around with you all game, you know?
I think it's fine as is.
Yeah, I think it's a good in between because one, let's be honest, we would all like it for free. I don't even know why that's even like a, let's be honest, like if we were
want it to be free.
Yeah, we want it all to be free, right? But if we're looking at it from like both ends of like Omeda and the consumer, I think it's a fair in between.
I can tell you personally, once those tokens are in the game, personally, I don't care how much long it takes me to grind. I'm personally not gonna pay for a crown. I paid for the initial crown on the first couple characters, you know, I grinded, but after I did those, I'm like, I'm not paying for a crown at all. I'm waiting for this free system. I have no problem trading my time in order to get that reward later, right? I think that there's gonna be a market for people that want to pay and they want it now, or it's like, hey, that's the one character they play, they're gonna pay for it no matter what, right? They don't want to wait and grind. But as somebody that's already done a couple of these skins, I can tell you, I personally, I'm not gonna, I'd rather trade my time for it. And the fact that that's gonna be an option down the road is awesome. The fact that it's not there right now, still kind of a bum. It's one of those things that, you know, we just, hopefully we get it ASAP so it balances the system out. But I don't see the need to pay if you're willing to dedicate your time to them.
Correct.
Yep, I agree.
Now, anything else you guys want to talk about affinities before we go into this new patch and stuff like that?
No.
I'm good.
All right, so this new patch, Brad. Hold on. We're gonna talk a little bit here about this new patch. Let's start with this. What's the phrase that they're calling it? Was it projectile improvements? That's what it is. I got it on the screen. Projectile improvements. I want to start right there, right off the rip. Did you guys notice a difference? Did you guys, what's it between your experience on these projectile improvements on the new patch?
Very few of them are noticeable.
Yeah, I didn't notice much with the Grux's projectile, so I was good with it.
Okay.
Understandable.
So, no, I purposely went into an AI match with my boy Murdock because I really wanted to see what it was like and how it felt. It does feel different. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It feels different. But with it, and I don't know why this would be a change to it, but the SFX, the sound effects for it is for his auto attack is atrocious now.
I mean, that's got to be a
wait, on who?
There's no way that's not because of the projectiles.
I don't. Yeah,
but
on Murdock.
Terrible.
On Murdock, it's atrocious. I don't know what it is.
Horrible.
It almost sounds worse than because. So when Murdock, when they first came out, Murdock had this sound, and I can't tell you what it was, but it was a sound, and it was all right. That's it. And then they fixed
buffed it to a canon
sounds,
yeah,
and they made this. Oh man, it's got some bass to it. This is amazing. I love it. And now all of a sudden, it's like you neutered him. Like this
sounds like a pea shooter from Plants vs. Zombies.
It kind of does sound like that. You're right. And it's
somebody in chat made the example: open up a stapler and swing that shit as hard as you can at the wall, and that's the Murdock shot. Just a stapler going clack clack.
Have you heard the Drongo shot? Sounds like a silencer.
It sounds better than Murdock's. It's also not good, but it sounds better than Murdock's in my opinion.
He's holding a whole revolver, and it sounds like he's shooting a silenced pistol.
So, I can't. Yeah, I will say I don't know what's going on with the sounds. Definitely get some other people's opinions before y'all release certain sounds in the future.
Please just revert Murdock.
Change Murdock back 1000%.
Projectiles.
Now on the projectile.
Continuing on.
I did feel a difference in some characters. Nothing like out of the whack. I kind of agree with Bearded. Nothing. It's not like good or bad. But I mean, I guess it's good in a way, right?
Worth mentioning, Intharth in the chat said, people playing with ultra low ping won't see much of a difference. Players that are with high ping, that's what they're gonna feel.
A lot of it is it's from what I understand. Smokey and Ace were chilling in my chat the other day when we were talking about it. A lot of it is on back end prediction systems, so that on higher ping it should be more reliable, basically.
Yeah, I will say, as somebody that like at best has 40 ping all the way from Florida, I've felt different, situations on it. Yeah. It does seem a little bit more consistent, but it's almost like I have to learn how to shoot all over in the game.
I feel like it's an adjustment that needs to be, because like it's like we got introduced to a new system when we're used to an old one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're in that lull period of like, okay, we need to figure this out, see if it's even good or bad, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even think we have enough time yet to really tell, because honestly, it's probably going to take us a little bit to really get used to it and see if it's better than the old one or not.
There are a handful of abilities that are like immediately noticeable. Like I think Gideon right click and Howie Rocket are both very
10 times
noticeable.
Better.
Yeah,
they also changed a couple of abilities, like Decker's right click.
Now she's got a little wind up on the cast. That's something to get used to.
Muriel right click is a much more long projectile than it was.
Yeah. Really? Oh, I didn't even notice.
Previously, Muriel right click had drop on it.
It was like a shot, but after like 100 yards, yeah,
or whatever, and then it arced, and now it's a more consistent arc. Muriel's auto attacks got changed. They have a wind up to them, and that feels absolutely terrible. I played a Muriel game and I was autoing the wave, and I'm like, I am never gonna play this hero again. This feels terrible. So
like a wind up effect on the auto.
So her autos don't come out when you click them.
It's kind of like a charge.
They come out like a couple of frames after you click them, and it's very noticeable.
Kind of like Decker's.
Okay, yeah, Decker's R&B is that way. Like you click the button, you have to wait like those 3 frames or whatever for the character to kind of.
It was for consistency's sake. So Gideon had slower winding up autos because his auto animation is kind of longer. He does like this whole throw thing, and so they changed a couple of characters to be the same as Gideon, so their autos should feel the same. In my opinion, Muriel's feel worse. Gideon's feel the same. Muriel's feel considerably worse.
Is it worse or balanced?
They come out too slow. It feels unresponsive.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, you definitely want to get to the point where, of course, have the animation
happen.
Yeah, but you should click and it happened 1000%. I will say though, there were some things that I tried in PvP and it felt really weird, almost like desynced when I cast an ability or when I was doing a certain animation.
I have clips of me queuing a wave as Muriel, and the damage popped up almost a full second later.
But I noticed in practice mode, I didn't run into any issues. Even the Decker stun and everything, like in practice mode, which was much lower ping, everything felt normal. So I will say it's something about the ping, and then because it's like a going and receiving thing as well. So I guess the other player's ping also goes into consideration when it's trying to find a happy balance. And when you're playing with somebody that's got high, like against somebody that has high ping, you're going to be able to tell the difference when you try and cast. And like, bro, I kid you not, I have a clip of it. I blinked as a twin blast. I blinked, came out the other side. Like you saw the flash. I'm out at the other side by my tower. Out of nowhere, I got pulled from the original location. It like reverted me, like lagged me back to the original location. And then I got Richter pulled back into the lane. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Mr. 40 ping over here has never been pulled out of his flash before. Like,
no, it's happened. It's happened. But here's the thing. I was told specifically that this projectile improvement would also help prevent that from happening. with the ping.
Oh, that's happened to me like at least 4 times on this patch.
That's what I'm saying. This, I feel like it's happening more now than it did before. More consistent.
I've never had that happen to me at all.
Yeah.
It's happened to you 4 times in one day.
Definitely sounds like a skill
I'm pretty sure
issue.
I play on the highest ping here. Is that true? I play on like 70 ping.
It's probably. I mean, there's no servers on Montana, so you know.
Yeah.
Well, I play on East on like 70 ping. I've also gotten a lot more ghost hits on this patch than I have before.
But to say, so you might actually have
just hit people and they just don't do anything.
So
the one thing I noticed when I played mine, I only did AI, and I was playing Murdock, and I noticed that like when the enemy AI runs away from you because they run away when they have no minions, I had to aim. When you aim on the character, they glow, but like I wasn't aiming on them. I was aiming in front of them. Like I had to like lead it, but as long as they were glowing, I just kept consistently in front of them. I was landing my shots, so it was like you had to lead, but you didn't have to lead. It was weird. Like, because like even though my cursor wasn't on the hero, it was in front of them. The hero was glowing, like saying, "Hey, that's gonna hit them." So it was different. It was something that I didn't notice, but like it was kind of like okay. But I mean, it just like again, that's I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just something that's different, and you got to get used to. That's how it's gonna be. So I was just trying to understand that.
worth mentioning. So in the chat, minimum 10 says he plays at 90 ping. He didn't notice a difference in Richter pull. I think Ace was the one that said that Richter pull and then Rampage Rock have not been affected. Yeah, like something was buggy. They're still their old way. They haven't been updated to the new version. So just be mindful of that. Those two characters,
Gotcha.
those abilities, they're not feeling the way they're supposed to.
They couldn't put them through it right now.
I mean, if you don't hit the rock or the pole, it's a skill issue, but that's another topic.
True.
But yeah, so overall, projectile improvements. Yay?
I think it's good in the long run, especially with console coming. You're going to have more people playing. If you have more people, then there will be more people on ping, increasing consistency on
college dorm Wi-Fi.
As someone who
parents Wi-Fi,
ping,
yeah,
it's always a good thing.
I think it's good for the player base, as in like people playing on different servers. So overall, it's a good like improvement. Just some people might not be affected as it the same amount as others.
I heard it was only made so then so Pinzo had no reason to complain when he lost to the EU tournament people. So when he was playing EU tournaments.
I didn't even play in the tournament.
Bro, Bearded's getting spicy towards Pinzo, bro. What is this?
Hey, man.
No, I think it's too early to tell if it's good or bad. I think it's something we just have to give really a lot of time, a lot of testing time, and get more feedback into it. I do believe, I don't think I agree with Pinzo. I don't think it is related, but I do believe the audio is with that being I don't know, it's being set back, like part of attacking and you hearing that auto is like and it feels
the confirmation.
You get that feel, yeah. It's like you hear that noise when you're chunking with Murdock and you're getting those like huge like that bass sound to it. It felt good. You play. It's like all right, you enjoy the auto attack more. But now when you're like you hearing this pea shooter, it's like it takes away from that, so you're not able to enjoy it as much. So it really kind of like. You're trying to focus on one thing, but you're being distracted, and you're not allowed to focus on what you want to be focused on. So, like fixing that, I think is going to help a lot as well. Even though I said I know they're not related, but like it does have effect on it. At least for me, playing Murdock, like when I'm hearing that, I'm like I was more focused on like, dude, this just sounds horrible, and I'm trying to pay attention to what the projectile feels like.
It's not loud enough for me. Like it doesn't. Like I was playing a game where I was running away, and I had flashed, and Murdock evidently had pressed E and caught up to me, and he was shooting me, and I didn't know that he was shooting me because I was not looking at him, and he was shooting me, and I couldn't hear it. And I'm like, that is bad.
Yeah. It is kind of low. I feel like certain characters, like especially if you have a Revenant in the lane, bro. Revenant sound is beefy, bro. Kira sounds great too.
I was clearing red buff the other day, and I could hear Akira shooting my tier 1 tower in duo lane. I was like, it took me a second. I was like, is that a Kira auto hitting my tower? I'm not anywhere close to that. So
yeah, certain audios sound good. Like I gotta say, quite frankly, probably one of the best feeling I would say is Sparrow right now.
Sparrow's good.
Like bro, Sparrow, like her piercing shot and everything, she feels very, very smooth. But even like her auto, I 1000% prefer the sound of her auto with her bow as opposed to Murdock with his shot with his whatever the hell little stormtrooper gun he's got. I'm not digging it. TBH. But now, real quick, so they did also announce on this patch, new accounts are going to get an experience boost until they hit account level 14. I'm okay.
An experience boost to unlocking heroes, to be clear.
Oh, to unlock heroes specifically. Okay.
Level, it is an experience boost towards unlocking hero contracts.
I got you. So that's just basically so they can unlock heroes at a faster pace.
Faster on new accounts.
Yes.
Correct. I'm not mad at that. I think that's a cool change.
That gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah,
I don't mind.
No thumbs up.
Smite does the same thing, and League does the same thing, where like through your first like 10 account levels or whatever, you get like a box that has a free hero unlock, or you get a random hero unlock, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Two heroes faster. I'm not mad about you being able to get some heroes faster.
And then the spiciest part of the update, they added tank top wife beater rampage back into the store.
Beater rampage.
It's Rampage. Choice plays alter ego.
Oh yeah, true. That is true. I'm glad that they added the skin, bro. This is one of my favorite skins in all of the Epic arsenal, quite frankly. Like I'm super happy that the skin is in.
It's just
that might just be
enough. It's like just on the goofy enough line for me to be like, all right, that's actually kind of funny.
It's like the jorts for me. Like the jorts is what like really seals the deal because he has such tiny legs and just wearing these like
jeans.
Oh man.
Are they jorts? Do they cover his whole legs or are they?
No, it stops at like the knees, bro. That's what it is. Yeah. And then on the back of his tank top, it's like there's perfectly cut out holes where his spikes are going through. Like it was like tailor made specifically for him.
I don't
not like ripped or anything.
Tailor made. I think he probably just shoved his spikes through it. No.
Yeah, it looks a little too clean. It's like a perfect circle around it. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it had like a little rip texture or something, be like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm happy with the skin. I'm happy at the fact that they're just adding a skin. Because I honestly felt for a minute there that they were just gonna hold on to all the skins, but now at least are like, hey, here's a little something in the meantime. You know, not a crazy skin, but at the same time, not just a basic recolor. And I'm very, very happy about it. I don't know the cost.
I have not looked.
It's 500.
500?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just buy all the skins. So
that's cheap. So
cheaper than I thought it was gonna be.
Right?
True.
It's worth as much as an affinity skin.
Is that like the epic skin? Because I can't remember now because all these games that are coming out. I thought there was like purple or pink stripes on the wife beater.
So there was like a sailor version at one point at the release of him. Yeah, like I want to say Epic had maybe 3 or 4 different tank top variants that they released at one point, but I think this is just a standard one. It was just like, hey, I don't remember the jean shorts, quite frankly. That might be something new. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just one of the original Paragon Epic versions that they had. And they're labeling it as a common too, which to me is still mind-blowing, because for me a common would just be a recolor, but that's a different conversation we can have.
It's basically a recolor.
Take the win.
Yeah, right, take the win. Count your blessings. Then they're adding player support, basically saying they're trying to get as much feedback as possible, especially with like console players coming in. They're trying to find some sort of way to consistently and more effectively, I guess, get player feedback. So now there's this new player support hub on the website.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's great because support page.
Yeah, with like tech support, general, popular questions. Yeah. No, I can see this being used more.
They probably already should have had this, but this is a good thing to have before console comes out.
Yep. I'm all about it.
Woo. And from there, like you guys mentioned, there's now a newsletter, so you can get emails. Is it right? About all the most frequent updates. That's kind of cool.
I believe it's email.
This one's like you get all the news instead of just like signing up for like the Xbox newsletter that you're signing up for. So there's like the full Pred newsletter, and then there's like you could sign up for certain things. So like obviously since PlayStation's already been announced, the Xbox, you could sign up for a newsletter specifically just for that.
I see. I think that's cool. Again, something that probably should have been there a while ago, but definitely something that's useful. They get, you know, customer emails as far as also sending them future updates, big changes, etc. Draw people in another way.
When free to play comes.
And now there's a lot of character changes that happened over this last patch. Is there anything specifically you guys want to hit?
No,
not necessarily
they-
character changes,
Of
but
the
I
patch
don't.
notes.
Yes, the patch
to be
notes,
fixed.
the change, that how that's set
They
up. Like
know
right now, like,
that.
as you see the cooldown, every level here, like how it's changing, like the 5 levels.
They
Like I don't.
know.
Yeah.
They know how bad it is.
Yeah, they're
You talking about the layout?
on it. Yeah, the
Yes.
layout. How
The
like
layout
you look
is
at the
terrible.
cooldown right now for Decker Stasis Bomb. It shows you all 5 levels, like level 1, level 2, level like that. Like
Gotcha.
that.
So you prefer the original, like it went from 18 to 14 to, you prefer that version? Okay.
Yes, that's
so
way better.
the 5 little, like, you know, that 1 through 5 is not bad. It's when you get to Wraith
Kira.
and it goes to
Yeah.
and like the
Kira,
ones
that was just the
14,
example that was on the screen.
Yeah,
No snap. They actually showed all 18 levels. I didn't even notice that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it gets like, okay.
Tell me you didn't read the patch notes without reading the patch notes. Without telling me you
Right.
didn't read the patch notes.
Son, I definitely didn't read
It's
that.
that.
I wasn't looking at any Kira stuff. I read Crunch, I read Decker, I read Drongo, and then I skipped and I was like, okay, I read Narbash. Like, I was like, I don't care about Kira. But oh my god. And ironically, this is literally the same exact thing at all levels. That could have been one simple sentence.
It's changing
That's an
the
easy
pace
thing.
of her passive duration from 4 to 3.5 seconds, and that's the
At
best
all
way they
levels.
could write it.
That's a lot of work.
Highlight though that they did mention that the reason why it's like this is because they're experimenting with a new AI and how they just change the server and then it updates on the website.
Oh, like the
It's
AI is
not
creating the
super-
notes.
They didn't
Yeah.
write it themselves. Yeah.
Right. So it's less work for
Oh.
them. Obviously, it needs some fine tuning, but I do think it's good though that
The
they're
formatting
using
needs
an
some
AI.
fixing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But like I said, I do think it's good that they're using an AI because they just say it allows them to not handwrite all these notes, so it gives them more time to do other stuff. So I think that's a good direction, but just needs to be cleaned up.
I mean, honestly, I didn't know that part. With that in mind, I'm all for AI integration, smoothing out the workflow, etc. Like, yeah, sure, maybe the word prompt needs to be adjusted a little bit of what you want the AI to do, right? But okay, I mean, with that in mind, does that mean that the AI also did like the little pictures and stuff, or was that more of
I don't know.
but
They said they
I don't know about
paragraphs?
blurbs themselves.
these pictures are amazing?
Little blurbs is still them, like because you can tell there's the little like one-liners, the
Yeah, they're
little bad
joking.
jokes that are
Right.
still in there. That's still them. So that
Gotcha.
general about
Okay.
Narbash, that's all.
It's just more probably on the statistic side than the hardcore number. Okay, got you. I will say a little tidbit for content creators. I don't know if you guys do this. The fact that, first of all, these Wraith, the background, all the runes for Bearded, that's super cool. You can click on the word Wraith, and I'm assuming it takes you over to the Wraith profile. I actually haven't clicked on that yet. But I did do this. I right-clicked on the Wraith, and I click Open Image in a new tab. And I was like, I wonder what's going to happen when I do that. And that's actually a picture of Wraith with no background that you can use for a thumbnail. Just a little thing for creators. Super, super cool to do.
That's crazy.
Last.
And you literally just like right click, save image. And you literally, as a creator, you can, I already made a Narbash thumbnail with this Narbash little stick out that's right here. You just open in a new tab and bam, there it is. And it's just so convenient, bro. Like I just thought as a creator, cool little thing to share to people. But overall, I love the aesthetic of this. I love the character.
It looks.
Yeah.
I love
Nice.
it's amazing, bro. Which actually, are these just the name of the characters below? Because this
I'm
looks like
assuming they
FaZe,
are, Yeah.
I'm
and then-
assuming, yeah.
and then Narbash looks like Narbash.
Yeah.
So maybe you can use these letters to figure out what you couldn't figure out before, Bearded.
That's what we were talking
That's
about.
exactly
right?
what
That's
we
exactly
talked
what
about.
I said.
Oh, well, I'm glad to be here.
Word for word.
Glad to be here.
For a word.
Anything you guys want to talk about item changes?
Where are they?
Yeah, so like I said, their balancing has always been very minuscule, but like they don't balance like way out of line, so, and I think it's good personally. That means that like they're trying to keep everything balanced. I think the game is pretty balanced for the most part. Obviously it's a MOBA, so it's never really balanced, but
Yeah, with PlayStation around the corner, tipping the scales too hard, I don't know if I'd recommend it. with that test around the corner. But when things are a little bit more stable and it's just ongoing, tipping the scales, I think is a bad thing.
Yeah, but it's been stable and ongoing for 6 months. That's where I'm at. Like we got 4 item buffs / nerfs in this patch, and one of them or 2 of them were for the same item. Like,
but they just say they're
I
adding
don't
new
know,
items next patch, so I'm okay with it.
It's just-
knowing that. So I'm just like, okay,
Yeah,
let's see what next patch brings.
it's still just so little for me. I'm like, Megacosm, Demolisher have been the same for the last year, and they just can't get touched. And it's but at least we took 2 power off a Witch Stalker, though. Like, I don't know. The item fixes in particular are just kind of bizarre to me. The actual hero changes, like I think Kira's changes were actually really interesting.
It feels good.
Bring her
It feels good.
more in line with other carries and kind of more separate from Sparrow. I think those were actually some pretty interesting changes. Like the character changes were fine, I thought, except they didn't fix the crunch bug, which is annoying.
It's only been a day. How does the patch actually feel to you guys? I mean, I know you just talk about Kira in general, but like overall patch wise, how does the patch feel to you guys?
Largely the same as the last 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the tweaks are not that
Not
huge
much
to where it's
changed.
like,
Nope, I
it's
know.
more of like keeping characters in mind. So like, there's more of like quality of life things for like certain heroes. So like Narbash early game is a little bit better while you're playing him. So like your thunk is on like at -2 seconds. Obviously late game
Yeah.
it's not that much, but early game Narbash feels a lot better than it did last patch, essentially.
I
So
like
it's
how they waited
those
until
small
after
things.
Windu was done playing with them to make that change. That was good.
I still played
They
them.
I would
also
too.
I still tried them.
Side note, they updated a couple things on that like weren't in the patch notes, like Decker Cage now blocks Drongo Boomerang.
Well, it was supposed to before, right? Because it's supposed to be.
I think it was supposed to, but I don't think
Yeah.
it ever did.
I don't think it ever
I don't
blocked
play enough
projectiles.
Drongo
You would
to
just
really know, but it does now.
No.
And I feel like it didn't before.
It did some. I remember like Decker Cage used to be like.
the phase beam is the only thing I
Phase
remembered.
Beam.
That's the only thing I remember. I thought everything else
It
actually
doesn't
went through.
block Howie abilities,
Right. So
even though
Question mark?
those are like projectiles. But now it blocks Drongo Boomerang too. So I don't know. So they're obviously still updating some other things. So
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. If they were looking into projectiles in general, they finally on the page and they're like, wait a minute. Did this projectile work this way? Hold on.
right, like
Hold on.
yeah, I don't know. I just thought I thought that was kind of interesting. That was one that I noticed today. Overall, I think the changes aren't bad. Again, I would love to see more item changes than they currently give us, but I don't think the changes are bad.
I think when I'm excited about seeing the newer items because then I think we'll see more item changes. One, either to change the new items to make them either better or worse, or to get now, since they have more items, to balance off the other items to make them in line with the other items as well.
Guys, new items means new item art? Question mark?
Whoa. Let's
Question
slow
mark?
it down.
At least for the new ones. At least for the new ones.
Nah.
Well,
they
I
wouldn't
mean,
do that.
but
They'd look out
technically it
for-
has to be new
No.
ones for the item for the new ones, right?
No, but I'm saying it. You think it's gonna be like
It's gonna be placeholder.
proper art, or do you think it's gonna be
No.
placeholder? Like, hey, let's just go from the.
I think
They'd look too out of place.
Yeah, I think when they do new item art, it's going to be everything at once. Not like, oh, we have 3 new item arts for this one. But hey, they might be cooking something.
We're gonna get like a boot item, and it's gonna be called like Storm Dance or something. Like just something totally generic in the meantime. Oh man,
Hopefully we get some Crocs or something.
this man says some
Okay.
Crocs. Get me
All
out.
right, man.
Whoa,
F6 can go build Crocs on
And then-
on tank top rampage.
And then it would be
Yeah.
like his off-lane gameplay, crock of shit.
Dang, whoa, bro, Bearded is so spicy towards y'all,
This is a
Why are you
clean stream.
hostile tonight, dude?
right? Bearded.
You better hope they don't release a 1v1 mode because you're the first.
He
person
said,
I'm
"You
calling
better
out."
hope, son." Aye. But no, so
There is practice. I could probably take you to.
I'd love to bring this up for you guys. So Doinks in the chat, he was actually chatting with me about this yesterday. So they haven't necessarily mentioned much as far as what they're aiming for resolution FPS, right? Doink specifically was saying, I really would love for them to try, given the fact that it's on newer console, on the newer console specifically, try to do 4K 60 or a lower like 2K or 1080p at 120, since the newer consoles can output performance like that. Do you guys have any input on that side, or do you think they're just gonna probably stick to, hey, here's like 1080p 60 and let the console upscale? What do you guys think is gonna happen there?
I think they should maximize anywhere they can.
Yeah, I think they'll just match the settings for the console, right? Like if your console could do this, that's what the settings are going to be able to go up to. I don't think it should change other than that. I mean, I think 1080p is fine overall for everything. I think if you're running 4K in the first place, that's going to be rough.
Well, the PS5 specifically, since that's like the flagship one, it can handle and plays plenty of games at 4K 60 or playing at like 120 per performance mode, still at like 4K, for example, or like at 2K or something like that. But like the textures are dumbed down. Like they offer multiple versions oftentimes. But even if they just went for one, do you think Predecessor is going to be able to run all Ultra on the PS5? Or do you think we're going to run into the traditional console issue of everything's at medium for performance?
I mean, even on my PC, which is, I think, a pretty decent PC, I'm not running any high settings because I'm looking for performance while I'm playing. So I don't really, realistically, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people, if they do that, to even get that capability, would run it. So I don't think it will be necessarily worth it. But, I mean, sure, why not, I guess.
Be cool if they
I've never
introduce
like played a game at 4K. I mean, I have no
Yeah, I
idea.
mean,
I only have a 1080p monitor, like, you know.
we're not all like Windu.
Yeah, we're
Bro,
all back.
like I'm just saying, bro, like what is it? It's been in the last 10 years, 4K TVs have like dominated the console world. And it's one of those things that nowadays 4K TV is the standard on console. Like even if you just get a basic, like as basic as a 4K monitor, a TV as you can get from like, I don't know, like a Walmart Black Friday sale, like $200-300 or something like that. Like you can get them relatively inexpensive. But it's to the point that in the console world, 4K is the standard. That's what I'm saying. Like they're to some capacity, if they come out and it's only 1080p upscaled, it won't be as good of as an impression when console players are like used to playing 4K gaming. Even when the PS4 Pro took a 2K image and upscaled Paragon to 4K, I was still playing Paragon on a 4K TV back then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that when players plug it in, and I'm gonna be right there at some point because I'm like 24,000 in the queue or some shit like that. I'm hoping to be in there playing 4K. Definitely gonna stream it. Do any of you have consoles here or no? I know Bearded said he has a PS4.
I have the Son's PS4. That's it, man. But I
You'll
want
never catch me with a fucking controller in my hand, man.
Right?
I want optimization because that's something that I haven't really seen in general anyways. Like I still want better optimization that we currently have as it is. Like I would love, I mean, I know I don't have the best rig, but the more you optimize, the better that even the lower end rigs can play on. Like I would love to be able to sit here because I have a 144 hertz monitor. I would love to sit here and play, 144 FPS, whatever, everything max settings. Because especially being a content creator for them, like I'm sitting here streaming on Twitch and on Kick, and I want to be able to show to everyone in the community that your beautiful
How good
game.
it looks. Yeah.
And I can't do that because I'm held back with my rig. All right.
So you're
now,
saying that
you as a
Omida
community
needs to
can
send you a new
optimize your
computer.
game to where I can get my rig. My rig can do that. Or you just send me, more money, and not more money. You haven't sent money at all. You send me money. Yeah,
You're
that
getting
sounds
money?
bad. Yeah,
You're
right.
like, right?
You're getting
money.
Guys are getting paid.
You send me money, and I could, or just send me a 4090 or something, the new one that's coming out here soon. Like we'll be
My
good to go.
question is, if can they separate it? Because I'm assuming I don't know anything about PlayStation, but I'm assuming the PS5 can run at either higher res or FPS than the PS4.
Yes.
Can they make it, like, if they decide to ship it at 4K 120, like
On one system, they can choose to have a
can
different
make
base standard on another system. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for example, even Paragon did that back in the day. PS4 Paragon, kind of booty, straight up.
Yeah.
PS4 Pro Paragon was night and day. It was a beautiful game. And then PC was like ultra. PS4 Pro was high, and then PlayStation Original was like medium or low, depending on what model you had. So it was It was rough.
Interesting.
But yeah, they definitely could do that.
It has to work that way, right? Like it's gotta be because like,
I would imagine.
But they choose the
Call of
settings.
Duty right now, right? Because Call of Duty's out on PlayStation 4, it's out on PlayStation 5. You're not gonna be like limit PlayStation 5 Call of Duty just because PlayStation 4 has its limits, right? So you'd have to be able to pick and choose.
The difference being is us PC players can choose the setting. How we can choose, like I want to, process post-processing on ultra. But that's the thing, we can choose that. Most consoles can't. The console decides the resolution based off of the game or whatever, or like that whole graphics page on a lot of games, it just isn't there. The resolution is set by the developer, right? And then the, like, let's say post-processing textures, that's set by the developer. Like if they want high, usually it's stuck on high, whatever they choose. It's not until recent years that a lot of games like Call of Duty, for example, lets you choose a little bit more as to what you get, but often on consoles is much more limited as to the option because the developers lock those to guarantee performance.
Interesting. The more you know.
The more you know. But yeah, guys, overall, I gotta say, the last 3 weeks with the previous patch, I liked it. I was enjoying it. I was concerned for Predecessor, to be honest. Now with the PlayStation news, we're seeing an awesome trailer that got cooked up at some point, but officially got released, right? I'm a lot more hopeful as to the creativity and the choices that we're seeing out of them, right? I think overall, it's a step in a good direction. I still want to see a little bit more out of them leading up to the console, just to kind of reaffirm the faith in the community. I do feel like with the Affinity, a lot of people were kind of shaken a little bit whenever it was like, oh, wait a minute, $5, a misconception here and there and blah, 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 right? So I still want to see a little bit more out of them. But I think overall, this is a general good direction. What do y'all think?
I think it's great. I love seeing how the night and day change with you. Like you went from like, you could just tell you weren't having a good time before the Infinity patch happened, and then the Infinity patch happened and you were just like, dude, like you were having a ball just Affinity grinding, like you could tell the player retention side of it was working for you. Like there was times that you opened up the game just because like, hey, I'm a content creator, I have to open up this game, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, like I played a match right before PREDCAST because I had to try the patch, like that sort of vibe. Yeah.
Yep. And now it's like with the Infinity, that's completely changed. And then now, that's like, so you had that good news that changed for like, you could see it with you, it was night and day, right? So that happened, and then all of a sudden, bam, console news. So it's like there's like, even if that Affinity, that the Affinity rose-colored glasses were kind of fading, maybe all of a sudden, bam, console news happened. So it's bam, it's like, all right, we're getting recharged again, we're having a good time. So it's like, if they can keep on hitting this news and keep that cycle going, like this train could get moving, and it's going to be great if it can keep doing that.
With that in mind, go ahead. I'll let everybody go through before I interject again. Sorry, go ahead.
You're all good. I think a big thing to really show for like why it feels a little bit better now is because we got hit with 2 bad news, like going in, right? Like we were like, oh,
delay and the paid
delayed, and then we're like, oh, Affinity, but like everybody was like confused, nobody knew what was what, right? And like that whole thing. But now the Affinity got changed, like what is it, the 2 days after on the Monday or something. So that was like good news of like, okay, we came to a happy medium. Then later like, oh shit, console news. Okay, now those 2 bad things are not there anymore, and it kind of feels like we're back on track. So I think that's really where it came from. So I'm feeling pretty good about it, and especially like projectile changes and these small things that are not necessarily small in like the overall spectrum, like projectiles, like I was saying, is like a pretty big change, right, for the game itself. And they put it in a balanced patch. So I think there's a lot more coming, and I'm still pretty much still hopeful as I was before, I guess, after.
Yeah, I think like the last maybe 2 months has been a little bit of like stumble after stumble. But I think they're starting to right the ship a little bit. We'll see if they keep it on course or not, Maybe they do. Maybe we stumble some more, who knows, right? I think that they're starting to get back on the right page.
And Omeda, definitely hit people up about that Murdock sound before you put it out. But yeah, so
can that be a part of a quick patch or whatever what is the hot fix? Could that be a hot fix, please? Can we get like
just load the other file back in there? Like,
yeah, 12.1 hot fix just for that sound. I don't care if there's other bugs put in with it. Just do that, please. That's horrible. The what bug?
The crunch bug. Crunch has a really, really like bad bug right now.
Okay.
That I'm surprised didn't get fixed. But anyway, sorry, continue.
No, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, I'm hopeful. And weirdly enough, that Bearded kind of points it out. But yeah, I've been having a lot more fun with the game, quite frankly, just purely with the affinity. Like, I'm definitely the one that hops on Mortal Kombat every single like day or two, just because there's a new skin on the store and I want to go grab it, or there's like a new grindable mode or grindable season coming out and I'm able to go play that for a little bit, so I'll go do that. I'm definitely the type that this affinity system is made for, by all means, and I love it. Like, when the new hero comes out, definitely gonna try and set a day or well, now I know, like, you know, a couple days aside just to try and grind that. But yeah, overall, I was very hesitant, very worried a few weeks ago. A little bit more time into it, I don't feel as bad with the choices I'm seeing now. Still don't like the Decker R&B and stuff like that, right? Like, hopefully they fix some of the things that we mentioned. But overall, from a posting, marketing side, the videos, the fact that IGN shared the video simultaneously, it was a coordinated drop the moment they dropped it, stuff like that. Like, I am liking some of the decisions that I'm seeing. I just hope that continues and that they hopefully don't drop the ball moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely going to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Beardy.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't want people to get like misconception of like there's not going to be like bumps in the road, because I don't foresee like everything going smoothly all the time. I still think there's still going to be like stuff that like they can't deliver on something, because thinking everything's going to be perfect and just going straight forward is definitely not the idea going in there. But that's just all.
We're saying,
I like what Big Doink says, and I think this would be a good idea. So if they do plan on changing noises like that, they should do a community poll to gauge interest in concepts, so at least get the community the community can feel involved. So like kind of like Fault did something similar. Like you you put out a patch that have like little sound files in them, and you can click on it, right? So then you click on like, hey, here's our three sound files for Murdock. You know, click vote for one of these three, and then like you could have that, like you could hear that. It's like then the community could vote for that. I think something similar to that would be pretty cool.
And you know what I think it was? I think we all kind of like the new Fangtooth changes that got announced a few patches back, right? It was like, that's a surprise, but we liked it. So they were like, let's do some more of those without telling them. And now we're like, wait a minute. But yeah, overall, I've been having fun. I still want to get a little bit more experience here on the patch. But moving forward, just to confirm, Bearded, next Predcast, are we planning on doing it 2 weeks from now?
Nothing next week, but 2 weeks from now, we're having Demande come on. So that's November the 29th. Again, still 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live Twitch and Kick. And then that will be uploaded the next day on YouTube on Windew's channel. But we'll have Demande here. So if you're able to get here for that time, it's going to be November 29th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go over a lot of the console, like controller stuff, and pick his brain for a lot of that stuff.
I see. Now, unless you guys want to add anything else, we'll go ahead and do our outros in the same exact way that we introduced ourselves. Let people know what you got going on, any recent videos that have been posted, where to follow you, etc.
Oh, I sent you a meme by Medkit, by the way. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, post that real quick.
I got you. I'll put it up on the screen while we do our outros real quick. Got you.
Wait, are we outroing?
Yeah, do the outro. I'll put it up on the screen here towards the end, and I'll let the stream kind of end with the meme on the screen.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. Again, I stream daily. I upload YouTube videos daily. The only thing that's kind of been cooked up is I did rework to the pred map of like what I'd like to see changed. You guys can check that out. It's over on youtube.com/Pinzo. And yeah, you guys can go check that out. It's a pretty cool map redesign if you guys want to go see it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it, you know, what you guys think about it, that kind of thing. But that's pretty much the only, I don't know, that's kind of it for me. It's the only cool thing that I did this week. So
I'm proud of you, Penzo.
yeah, thank you. That was my one big one for the week. I'm glad you guys like it, you know.
All right, I got the meme up on the screen, by the way. This meme was hilarious.
Medcat is on point with this. Yeah, he's a cool cat, man. So Medcat, all right, we'll go. We can go with that. I can make it work. But anyways, Medcat is on point with his memes, man. Keep it up. Love to see it.
And this is so true. It's so fucking true, bro.
Move the Predcast logo if you can't, because right now when you have it big, nobody
I
can
see it.
what actually is happening there.
Yeah, it's
Bro, this
Predecessor,
is so funny.
Small Gamers, Console, all of them fucking, like, bro.
Yeah.
And it's true. That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. I don't know. Where's so much like influx as far as like retweeting, commenting, viewed posts, you know, like
You
people on
posted-
streams.
You showed something. Was it in our chat we have for Predcast? Like 124,000 likes or something like that for the post that they made.
So
eyes on post.
yeah, so
Eyes on Post, is that what it was? Okay.
overall views
Either way,
on their
still.
post for saying, "Hey, attention, PlayStation players," and releasing the trailer. Basically,
Yeah,
on Twitter alone, it has 134,000 views. Twitter alone.
that's crazy.
Not including the fact that they posted it on YouTube, not including the fact that IGN posted that video as well. And IGN in the first couple hours had 30,000 views alone.
It's
Yeah,
up to 40,
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
42 or something right
Yeah.
now. I just checked it at the beginning of Predcast.
And that was a lot of comments like, "Oh my God, I didn't know Paragon was coming back." So that's
Paragon's back.
a lot of amazing exposure there for sure.
Paragon, Para here.
I can't with him, bro. Get me out. Overall, good meme though. GG to Medkit. If you want to go ahead and do your outro, F6.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, so F6, do Pred content, cast over at PCC. Starting a thing, you guys wanted to figure out what the hell I'm thinking in the off lane. So just doing a series of playing heroes in the off lane and talking the entire time. Do my best there. Let me know what you think. Other than that, it's your boy.
All right. As for myself, I actually opened up DaVinci again. It was weird.
Oh,
I opened it up.
Whoa.
It said there was a download, but I skipped it, and I actually uploaded it's two videos. They both went to TikTok, both went to YouTube Shorts. But it was some Xeris little shorts, little cool gameplay that I had with that. So go ahead and check that out on my YouTube or my TikTok, either one. I don't care. I will try to get back into that, but again, editing's not my strong suit, so I'm not a fan of it. But you can see me live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on Twitch and on Kick now. So catch me here. We'll come hang out. We'll do some gameplay. And then obviously the Wednesdays on the times that we'll be doing the Predcast will be that's our Wednesdays. But the ones we're not doing that, we'll be doing games and having fun there. But other than that, I'm excited for 2 weeks from now and talking to Demonde. I can't wait. So again, that's the November 29th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Twitch and Kick, the Bearded Wolverine. Come hang out and let's have a good time.
I see. And don't forget, guys, follow every single cast member here on Twitter to stay up to date as far as any Predecessor related news and or Predcast related news, because oftentimes if there's a big change or anything, we'll all make a tweet, retweet it, etc. So definitely stay up to date on that side. Usually you can find us at our given names. You can search the Bearded Wolverine, you'll find Bearded. You can search Pinzo, you can find Pinzo. Winnie the Mace, you find me. We made it very easy as far as finding us there.
Can't find F6.
Can't find F6. Well, you can find him. You just good luck getting him to reply. But but yeah, like as far as my content goes, I've just been streaming a lot more. Quite frankly, I got a little YouTube video here and there, right? Just mainly waiting to get closer to console to release like bigger content that I have planned. But in its own, I am consistently live streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it. Literally doing a full multi-stream, having a freaking Boeing 727 computer back there about to explode trying to do all these streams. But just show some love and support there if y'all could. And we appreciate everybody tuning into the Predcast. Hopefully you guys enjoy the episode. We're always open to feedback. We read all the comments. We'd love to hear what you guys had to say about all our conversations down below after the fact on YouTube. But regardless if you're live now in the chat or if you're on YouTube after the fact, leave a GG wherever you can, whether it's a chat or a comment, just to let us know that you made it through the entire episode and you watched it all. But unless we have anything else that we want to add, much love, homies. Peace. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Gang,
Bye.
gang.
He did not just say gang gang.
Get him out of here. Fired.